Good morning, interwebs. It is 2:30 in the morning, and I'm just picking up the camera now. I was gonna pick it up earlier. We had a decent morning, so I got up, and there had been like lots of loud thunder, and there'd clearly been storming. But I guess it had been really nice when Steve had first gotten home from work. So he got in the kids had woken up, everyone got dressed, they'd put on sunscreen, they'd all gone outside, they'd been in, like, hardcore mulberry picking mode. Steve put a tarp down, they, like, shook the bush, they brought in tons of mulberries. Then, this all starts happening, and Steve had been making tomato cages, because when we were at Menards last week as a family, we, bought a big roll of the metal mesh that they use when they make, when they pour cement. So it has the big squares, which make for nice tomato cages because they're really sturdy, and they'll hold up the big plants that we end up with, and they also stand up to we zip tie the whole batch together. So it's like this gigantic metal fortress that our tomatoes grow in, and it stands up to the straight line winds that we get during the summer, which can be, we live in tornado country, so the winds are a little crazy. So, he'd been working on that, and then you start hearing thunder and seeing lightning. It's like, maybe I shouldn't be, playing with metal. So, they all come inside. And, then kind of every time the weather would clear up, because we had storms go in and out all day, every time it would clear up, Steve'd be like, let's go outside again, because he was all excited to go outside. So, he did. We did a lot of cleaning up around the house today. He moved, I don't know if you can see it from here, the shelving units that had been in the old kitchen are in here now. Those metal shelving units they're waiting for is, right now there's just some assorted stuff on them that's still looking for homes, because, we're still figuring out where all the things live now that we've changed room usage. But when we start bringing in produce, it comes in to the shelves to finish ripening, because some things you don't ripen completely on the vine to get your best product, and some things just need a place to hang out because we have so much of them till we can get to using them. So that's what those are there for right now. Where was I? Okay, so that was our morning. We did a bunch of cleaning. I cleaned a bunch of stuff up in my craft room. The kids were all feeling good. Everything's great. Steve made mulberry muffins with the boys for us to have for lunch, and we had some fried eggs, and that was good, and everybody actually ate today, and yay. Then Steve and I hang out. We're watching Grace and Frankie now on Netflix, which is super good, and we hadn't watched it yet for, I don't know. People kept telling me it was a comedy. It's an amusing show, but it's not a comedy. At least not in the way I tend to think of comedies. It's just a good show. So, we're watching Grace and Frankie, and then Steve goes to sleep, and then I have the kid get up, and we've been having tick issues today. Like, I've found a couple on me, and I think everybody's had at least one tick today crawling on them, if not, like, attached to them, and that's just frustrating, and it's just the time of year. And the weather we had, like the winter, didn't kill off as many, and ticks. So, that, and then this evening, my one kid who'd made it through everybody not feeling good, being the one that felt pretty good, he doesn't feel good now. So, I've had an extremely pathetic sick kid this evening, and he has a headache, and he had a slight fever, and he was full of just like, sudden urgent needs for me to hand him water cups. Why can't you hand me my water cup faster? I really need a drink. It was very melodramatic, and so that was, I told Steve for a little while here, we were doing everything was great, and then it just felt like the wheels were coming off the apple cart, because like I had one kid freaking out about that, I have another one tripping, I have another one dropping. It's just like, oh my goodness, people, everybody just calm down. We'll all be okay eventually. But once it happens, people don't feel good. And I also have this fun thing of, like, I'm quasi-documenting my life on the internet. And for a family that ultimately does not get sick that much, especially for having 5 people, I feel like all I do anymore is talk about how we're sick, which for some reason gives me major, like, mom guilt. Like, why is my family sick all the time? And I recognize that in part it's that I talk about things that are not like huge illnesses frequently. I mean, they're annoyances. They are things that disrupt our day, but it's not like we've had some bad like stomach flu things happen before, and they're not like that most of the time. And if they are, I usually explain that. But it's just, you know, when you don't feel good, it just puts a hiccup in your day, and it makes it difficult to get all the things that you want to get done, or to get them done in the, like, mental state and mood that you'd like to be in, you know, because you're busy feeling crummy. So, that's kind of where we're at. Everyone is finally settled down. Everyone is finally asleep. But I'm also now kind of on edge, because I feel like I've already had almost everybody has at some point woken up with some, like, you know, urgent, I need you, Mom. Just, you know, so that they remember I'm here or something. That was a really big jump, Jezebel. Jezebel jumped from that shelf. Not the very top one, but the one below it. That was a big jump. Anyways, so I've been sitting here kind of on edge, but I did, before midnight even, finish the ribbing on my sweater. I do have ends to weave in, but I was not in the mood, and I want to do them actually when it's daylight out, since I have some black in the yarn. But bottom ribbing is on. I had lengthened the bottom, so sweater is finished. I will show you all more clearly once I, you know, weave the ends in, and I'll wear it, obviously. I like it, so you'll get to see it when I'm wearing it, all the times that I'm wearing it. I also, today, this evening, while I was sitting here, you know, trying to comfort people, but keep myself occupied, I started working on some curtains for the guest room, which are going to be made out of that fabric here. And I'm going to make strange curtains, but I think they are going to be awesome for my purposes. So, I'm making a crocheted edging, which, where'd my hook go? Don't want to lose that. Making a crocheted edging, which I'm ultimately going to sew onto the bottom of the curtains. The curtains are going to go from the top of the window, but they are not going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to take the length of fabric I have and cut it in half. And there's actually going to be like a 10 or 12 inch gap between the bottom of the window and the curtain, which is perfect for the cats who like to sit in the window. Because if I put, like when we've had blinds up before, I always keep them pulled up a certain amount because the cats want to sleep in the bottom of the window, but I don't want all the light through the top of the window. And it messes things up when I want to film in there, and it messes things up, like just having that much light in a room where we're storing things is not great. So, I'm going to make a special cat curtain, which is appropriately lifted to make my cats happy. So, I started working on the edging for that, and then, when it was like 11-ish and I finished my sweater, I went on and I bought my pattern on Ravelry to make my dress. The Havana shirt dress. And I have started it. I've made the straps so far, and I'm like working on the bodice. See, isn't it a beautiful dress? I mean, it's my dad used to, when I was in high school, I would sometimes wear things and he would call them standing dresses because, well, they were very short. When you were standing, let alone when you sat down. So standing dresses have always been a thing that Steve and I joke about. That is even smaller than a standing dress, but I tried it on and I think it goes around my like upper bust in a way that I think will be good. But I think that all the time, and then I get further into a project and it's not. I actually did do a small, but I did a gauge swatch for it. The bodice is made out of a stitch that I've used before, and I can't remember what project I used it on, but it's called herringbone half double crochet, and it's a pain in the butt. Like, basically, it's kind of like doing, it's a cross between, like, single crochet and half double crochet, but you yarn over and you put your hook in, and you draw up your first loop, like you would for a half double crochet. But instead of pulling that then drawing another loop through, you pull that first loop through the loop on your hook, then you yarn over and go through everything. So it's like this weird, like you have to catch your stitches, and it just doesn't, especially at the gauge that I'm doing the bodice at, because you don't want to be able to, you know, see through it. It's not like it's just sliding nice and easy. There's a bit of finagling that has to go on with every single stitch. But I am enjoying the way that the fabric of it is coming out. Like, the stitch is really nice. I think I will enjoy it. But it's going to be a pain to work on. Which is why I'm starting it now. Because I would like to have this dress done so that I can enter it in the fair. Which means I need to work on it or it won't be done for that. And I want to be able to wear it also. And I want Manelia to stop sneezing. But tonight, that has not been the case. She has been sneezing a lot in the last, like, half an hour. Like, kind of creepily, so I feel bad for her. But she seems happy. She's just sneezy. Guess that's the dwarf. The dwarf I'm living with right now. And I'll just be grumpy, I guess. Okay, I'm going to go and hopefully become sleepy shortly. And I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty-night.